All right, so now we are ready to roll. We've got all the walls cut in, and if you remember back in, I don't know, kindergarten or grade school, when you had to color something in, like the map of the United States or whatever, you would, at least how we did it with colored pencils, is you colored in the edges first and then you fill in the middle. Filling in the middle was always the most fun, and to me rolling is the most gratifying part of painting because it really means the job's moving right along and you get a lot done in a very short amount of time. It also takes the least amount of time of all the things we're going to do. So again, I'm rocking my 4-foot extension pole from Worcester, and I've got the same rollers we've been using this whole time, which is a 3/8 inch White Dove roller from Purdy. And this is just a quick release 9-inch roller frame. This is just the standard roller you should be using. Definitely a 9-inch is the way to go. Another side note, because we are filming and we don't want to have the audio messed up, we don't have any of the windows open because it's pretty windy today, but normally we'd have the windows open at this point, or at least a fan running, just to keep the fumes moving. And also because as you roll, you will notice the temperature in the room will rise. So just to keep yourself a little more comfortable and not so sweaty, that's how we just keeping air moving. And in between coats, we probably will run fans and open the windows. So just something to be aware of. All right, so I'm gonna start the roller same way we did before. I'm just gonna stay in the shallow end of the pool here, and I've got about a gallon's worth of paint in this jumbo tray liner. And I'm again work from left to right. And more or less I'm doing vertical overlapping stripes. And as the roller gets more soaked through, I'll be able to spread more and more paint on the wall. And again, you don't need a lot of pressure on the roller. A lot of people will push it way too hard, and that's where you get a lot of lap marks. You're trying to have a uniform finish on the wall. That's kind of the main point of painting, is you want everything to have the same finish and look like it's all made of the same material. So I'll just bump this pan. I guess I'll keep it to my left. Only keep it to my right. That's all right. And then for a section like this, I don't want to start a loaded roller too close to the ceiling. So I'm going to start it over here. And once I have most of the paint off of this, I'm just going to come back and do above this, this vent here. One of the other things that I see people doing that's not the best is going way too fast with their rolling. If you really spin this fast, what you're going to get is a lot of paint flecking down, and it's just not going to look as good. And particularly, you can go a little bit faster in the middle, but when you get towards the top, you really want to slow that down and slowly work it up towards the ceiling, because we've already painted these ceilings and I don't want to have to touch up a big roller hit on the ceiling. You've done the hard work so far, so you just don't mess up your nice work. Same with, you want to kind of slow down anytime you get close to something you've cut in. So same is true of the bottom here. A couple things that I'll go over a couple times on this wall. As you move left to right, generally you're going to have the roller set up like this, where the frame is on your right side. And that's generally how you're going to always have it, unless in like a few circumstances you're going to flip it around. The reason for that is that as you press into it, the least amount of pressure is on the left side of the roller. And so this corner, I'm going to roll this. So that's why it would be much harder to get it close to the wall without scraping on this frame. And I'll show you on that side too. So that's why you want to be on this side. but generally there's more pressure going in on the right side of the roller, so that's why it's going to be your kind of your leading roller line. And that way, I actually like, when I start the roller, I start it away from my previously rolled area, and then I get a heavy spot right in the middle here, and then I work my way back over with that left side of the roller that doesn't have a lot of pressure on it. And I will say rolling was the first thing that I got good at way back in the day. I think almost 20 years ago when I worked maintenance. So I did a lot of rolling, and I don't even notice when I'm flipping it around until I started explaining it. But yeah, it's all about just having steady pressure on the roller, and the harder you press, the more likely you're going to get lap marks and things you don't want, and raspberries and all that good stuff. Again, I started a little bit away from where I started rolling, or I just left off rolling, thread it in. You see a lot of people that recommend going in like a W pattern or an N. I just kind of always think of it as overlapping lines. Here's another spot where you're going to flip over the roller, and I've got some spots over there I can show you too. When you get close to something, you're going to roll in like around this cable box. I'm gonna flip it so that I've got the edge that doesn't have the frame sticking out next to it. So keep going here. There's another area where you're gonna flip from this way to the other way. I'm getting close to rolling around this window frame, so I'm going to flip the roller over. Just make sure I've got light pressure leading up to that cut in. All right, so just gonna roll the last wall here. Most of the time when I roll, I like keeping the pan in front of me, and I work left from right, so I usually have it on my right side. Because I've been filming, I've been moving around a little different. So we're just gonna finish this out. And when you're rolling around doors and things like this, you don't have a lot of wall space to spread out the paint. So you don't need to load the roller as much as you would as I did with these other walls. So I'm actually going to use some of this middle area to keep my roller a little bit less loaded with paint. So I'm going to get that off here. I'm going to come back over here and do this corner. I'm going to work my way above the door, and at this point this roller is all the way soaked through, so I can really spread the paint out pretty well. And then I haven't forgotten about my little area here. I'm going to keep spreading this out a little bit. My way over. You're using the same overlapping pattern that you did for the full wall. You're just doing a smaller up and down motion above these door jambs. So now I'm going to spread out what I've already put on this wall here.
Amazing.